Jitender Maan, 30 and Delhi's most wanted mobster who was known by his nickname Gogi, was attending a hearing today in connection with a murder case. He was arrested last year on charges of murder, attempted murder, extortion, possession of illegal arms, carjacking and land grabbing. The hitman had been waiting inside the court when Gogi was brought in for questioning. Minutes after he arrived, the killers whipped out pistols and opened fire, a senior police officer told the Indian Express. Officials said the gangster was shot up to 6 times and was taken to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead. After the undercover gunman opened fire, armed police at the scene shot dead the 2 killers. Authorities said they were members of a rival local gang, but their names have not yet been released. Gogi was born and raised in and around Delhi, though was far from a career criminal. As a young man he attended Delhi University where he was described as a bright and promising student. But he dropped out of school following his father's death in 2010, according to the Times of India, and began dealing in property before becoming a criminal. He quickly moved from property to a life of crime, and was first arrested for shooting at a man named as Praveen in 2010. It is unclear what sparked that confrontation. Later that same year he was involved in yet another attempted shooting, this time over elections at Delhi University that saw his friend, who was running for a post in the student government, beaten by a man named Sunil Tajpuria and his friends. Gogi is believed to have launched a revenge attack, beating Tajpuria and firing at his group, beginning what would become a decade-long gang rivalry. He was arrested over that attack in 2011, and since then, police say, has dedicated himself to criminal activities. Gogi went on to form the Jitender Gogi gang, which became involved in extortion and land grabbing around Delhi. Meanwhile, Tajpuria formed the rival Telugu gang which went to war with Gogi. The feud has been linked to at least 10 deaths in the last 10 years. Gogi was arrested in 2016 after years spent terrorizing Delhi's streets, but within 3 months was free again after escaping police custody while on his way to court. Cops put a 400,000 rupee £4,000 reward on Gogi's head, but it made little difference and he remained at large for years afterwards. In 2017 he was accused of shooting dead folk singer Harshita Datia, who was a witness in a murder case against a Gogi gang member. The following year he was back in the news again, accused of getting into a firefight with the Telugu gang on a Delhi street, leaving 3 people including at least 1 gangster and a passerby dead. Gogi was finally caught in 2020, hiding in a safe house in Gurugram on the outskirts of Delhi. He He was arrested alongside two men believed to be his closest lieutenants, Kuldeep Feza and Rohit Maan, while police also found weapons and a large amount of ammo. Feza subsequently escaped from custody but was shot during a confrontation in March this year. Police rushed him to hospital but were attacked en route and forced to abandon him, leaving him to die. Ever since, Gogi has been accompanied by enhanced security, but it was evidently not enough to prevent him from being shot dead in court today. With most proceedings held virtually because of coronavirus restrictions, very few people were present in the courtroom at the time of the shooting, said lawyer Satyanarayan Sharma, who was at the court as part of a different case. He criticized a security lapse and demanded a thorough investigation. The gunmen were members of a gang led by jailed gangster Tilataj Paria, according to local media. It comes months after one of Gogi's associates Fajia escaped from police custody when he arrived in a courtroom. Gogi has since been accompanied by counterintelligence forces during their hearings, but they were unable to ward off today's attack. Police said Gogi and his rival Tilu have been running extortion rackets for years and their respective gangs have constantly been at war. In the last 6 years, 10 members of the two gangs have been killed and others have survived assassination attempts. A police officer told the Indian Express that Gogi and Tilu knew each other from their student days at Delhi University, where they often clashed over politics.